such project has collaboratively worked together with ASEAN member states to build effective mechanisms to enhance disaster health management capacity in the region. Indonesia, as host country of ASEAN Institute for Disaster Health Management, organized academic activities to strengthen capacities of disaster health-related personnel, such as curriculum development, trainings, and simulation exercises. Conduct consultations in supporting and assisting the development and implementation of disaster health management activities. Facilitate, provide policy guidance, and support the organization of regional collaboration drills on disaster health management in AMS. Support the ASEAN Academic Network on Disaster Health Management, AANDHM, including the steering committee, in the execution of its mandate as articulated in its terms of reference. Support and facilitate the establishment of a regional network of training centers of ASEAN member states that implement general and specialized learning, education, and/or research programs on disaster health management.
To contain knowledge management basis in disaster frame, which is one of the ASEAN Academic Network on DHM activities, by establishing the ASEAN Journal Disaster Health Management or AJDHM. ASEAN Journal of Disaster Health Management is a scholarly publication that is dedicated to advancing the scientific knowledge of disaster health management from the ASEAN and non-ASEAN regions. Facilitated by the ASEAN Institute for Disaster Health Management, the journal serves as a scientific platform for researchers, medical practitioners, decision makers, as well as scientists who are interested in DHM. AJDHM was established to provide opportunities for young medical practitioners and all healthcare providers in relevant fields on DHM, and researchers who may be inexperienced in writing English papers from ASEAN and non-ASEAN regions. Platform to publicize case studies of actual DHM practices in the ASEAN region, DHM domains of regional research, capacity development and policy recommendations, and collaboration between health sectors and other sectors in disasters. Promote the WHO Health Emergency and Disaster Risk Management Framework in ASEAN. Review articles for world-class and high-quality articles on DHM should be published proactively. Submit your article and contribute to scientific ways for positive impact to the ASEAN and global beyond.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. First, I'd like to welcome you all. I appreciate everyone attending this online seminar. This academic writing workshop is organized by Team ASEAN Journal of Disaster Health Management, AJDHM, under the Asian Institute for Disaster Health Management. The ASEAN Journal of Disaster Health Management is a knowledge platform for young medical practitioners and all healthcare providers in relevant fields on disaster health management from Asian and non-Asian countries. Researchers can share their scientific knowledge and experiences in the field of disaster health management to this journal. The first issue publication of the Asian Journal of Disaster Health Management will be published in this year. As part as first issue publication preparation, AJDHM continue to facilitate this academic writing workshop series as one of its efforts to support candidate authors and everyone in preparing high-quality manuscript to be submitted to our journal and intends for broader access. We hope all participants today will have the opportunity to engage in interactive session and learn from experts in the field of research. We will conduct a weekly webinar series, and today, this is our first meeting until fifth meeting in the middle of June next month. We develop specific issue for each meeting. In example, for next week, we will discuss about how to develop a good introduction, how to formalize research purpose, and select methodology appropriately. We expect that through a series of talks, this workshop participant will learn about finalizing paper submission, the publishing process, and enhancing the standarding of academic writing skill. So, well, without further ado, I would like to begin by introducing the managing editor of Asian Journal of Disaster Health Management, Dr. Datu, as our speaker as well today.
Hello.
Yeah. How are you, Dr. Datu?
I'm fine, thank you, Miss Madel.
Okay, what are you up to this week?
Yeah, still a lot of works to do regarding our clinical duty, but I'm really excited to be able to join in this new era in disaster health management, especially in ASEAN. Well, we will have something really new in terms of academic part in disaster health management, which is
Okay,
the
well.
essential in disaster health management.
Okay, well, so what are the things that you want to start today, Dr. Datu?
Okay, today actually we would like to talk about the AJDHM a little bit, so all of us will understand about what is the AJDHM and why we needed it, and hopefully this is also an invitation for all of us here that join to the this workshop to actively submit their manuscript in the future. So then our AJDHM, our ASEAN Journal on disaster health for disaster health management could be one of the best journal in disaster health management, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so well, that's really engaging. I think that's what we are looking for, especially for participant here to who wants to who want to submit journal manuscript related to the HM. So I think your presentation will cover the issue. Please, Dr. Datu.
Okay. Could you help me to share the presentation from the office? Okay, I believe it already shared, but my okay, yeah, this one. Okay, great. So the AJDHM is the ASEAN Journal for Disaster Health Management. Okay, next slide. So today we would like to talk about a little bit, focus on these 8 items: the history, editorial board, scope of the journal, management of the journal, important dates, open journal system, manuscript templates, and logical next step. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, for the history, actually the ANDHM or ASEAN Academic Network on Disaster Health Management was established as one of the regional mechanism to support the RCCDHM or Regional Coordination Committee on Disaster Health Management in implementation of the priority area on the knowledge management. So in terms of that, the AIDHM, the ASEAN Institute for Disaster Health Management, as a secretariat of ANDHM, will support all the ANDHM activities, including the implementation of the management activities as such as ASEAN Journal on DHM. Okay, next slide, please. The editorial board is something like this. We will not to talk more about this in this time. Okay, next slide. Okay, the scope of the journal. Yeah, as you can already guess from the name of the journal, it's a platform to publicize case studies and actual disaster health management practices. It could be a report, it could be a review article, or it also could be some research in ASEAN region. Yeah. The domains of the disaster health management that cover in this journal is actually including the original research, capacity development, and policy recommendation, and collaboration between the health sectors and other sectors in disaster. Because we understand, although we are live in the ASEAN region, every single country has its own difficulties to face the disaster. For example, Indonesia might have more than 13,000 islands. It is, of course, a little bit different management, the disaster management compared to, for example, Singapore, that have significantly less islands compared to Indonesia. And also in some part of the country, for example, Thailand, if I'm not mistaken, they have a very good helicopter management in this disaster, and we could actually learn from them actually, yeah. And all the best practices in the disaster health management in ASEAN. The journal also shall promote the WHO Health Emergency and Disaster Risk Management Framework in the ASEAN. And of course, the review articles for the world-class and high-quality articles on DHM should be published proactively in this journal. Okay, next slide, please. Again, the publisher of the journal, the management of the journal, we will publish at least 2 issues for a year, and for each issues we will have like 12 articles in it, so we will have 24 articles in each year. The initiation will be started from this 2024, but actually we would like to take a look a little bit more. Probably we will push a little bit our first issue on the early 2025. Okay, next slide. Here is the important dates for the agenda. So for the AJDHM, so here we already on May, we have the workshop for academic writing on DHM. There's several workshop today will be held by AIDHM for the authors. For the first issue, and some of the second issue, we actually already choose some authors and articles from the second ASEAN Academic Conference that has been held in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, previously in 2023. So So we already have 22 articles so far. Hopefully all the articles will meet the criteria for the first issue articles. So then we will have at least 22 articles for the first and the second issue, and we only need 2 others for the second issue. But don't worry, because if you all of us here would send our manuscript, and you are not invited for the first and the second issue, we will have the publishing issue for the third, fourth, and so on. So we can still use your articles or manuscripts to be published in AJDHM in the next issues. Okay, next slide, please. So yeah, here is when the things get more interesting, if I'm in my opinion. So in order to make the journal is professionally managed by the AJDHM team member, and also we would like to have a very good workflow. So we will use the open journal system. So we will ask all the authors whether they are invited or not for this journal to use the open journal system that will be provided in the end of the June. So this open journal system is actually help us for the author. They will easily find their submitted manuscript and keep track of the correspondence between the authors and the editorial board, as well as because all of the correspondence are did in this OJS. So then hopefully there are no something left over from both the author or the editorial boards. And also the peer review, copy editing, proofreading, and the publishing will be also managed by this open journal system. We will have the guidelines for all of the invited authors and also all the authors outside the AJDHM to be able to use how to use the OJS version 3 that we will use. Next slide, please. And then we also have the manuscript templates that will be easier to understand for all the authors, and will be provided by email for the designated author or the invited author for the first and the second issue. And it is also will be available in the OJS, and then it is easy for all of the authors to follow the writing mechanism or workflow. Which font do you need to use? How many lines you can, and where you need to put the figure or the table or something like that. I believe all some of us are already familiar with this process, and I hope this could be a very pleasant journey for all the others. Next slide, please. Okay, we almost done for this introduction, actually, for the how to the introduction of the AJDHM. So first, I would like to ask all of the invited authors to do this logical next step. First, we need to join the academic writing workshop that will be held during this month and next month. We will help you to complete your manuscript, and then we will ask all of the invited authors to check the manuscript template as well, and then try to prepare the full manuscript. So the one that we now actually provide in the first and the second issue is to help all the authors, the invited authors, to prepare their full manuscript. So we would like to ask all of the invited authors to match their full manuscript to the manuscript templates from AJDHM. And then in each workshop, we will review the prepared manuscript by the author, and we will give feedback. And this feedback actually can also done in the emails manner in asynchronous way. So then the author will have complete understanding about the feedback, whether or not they are still in the workshop or not. And then we also encourage all of the authors and invited authors to ask a peer review from your institution or country to review your articles, because we understand that probably the one that really good for us during writing the manuscript, sometimes it will be a little bit difficult to understand for others. And when we can accomplish that problems, actually we can give a very good manuscript, and then eventually appear very good published articles that will be easily understood by all the readers for the ASEAN Journal on Disaster Health Management. Next slide, please. Okay, Ms. Madel, I think this is all the the presentation for the introduction of AJDHM today, and I really want to have a good discussion after this. So if you have a question, please raise your hand and then ask a question in the Zoom, and then we will have a discussion.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for detailed explanation about the scope of the journal and the timeline for Asian Journal of Disaster Health Management. So before we next to the other explanation about the guideline submission and the manuscript. So everyone who wants to ask a question, please raise hand by clicking the icon before you turn on the microphone, or you can type your question on the chat box. Please mention your name and your institution. Okay, seems no one asked about the scope of journal, because I think this is our many times to publish our journal. So I think you can continue for next detailed explanation, Dr. Datu, please.
Okay, Ms. Madalina. For the next about how to write the manuscript, actually, my presentation previously, it's not I have an error on the opening of this PowerPoint of the topics, and then so I would like to show or discuss with all of you how step by step the writing essentials for the journal, especially on disaster health management. First of all, if we would like to focus on the original article from the research on the DHM, once you need to write in the beginning of the manuscript development is methodology. That is very important part because most of the methodology should not been changed during the
Okay.
writing the manuscripts. So after focus on the methodology, how do you perform the research? What is the sample size? What is the inclusion and the exclusion criteria? I think we can move to the next one. Will be the result part. Why we need to write the result part after the methodology? Because the result part here is actually should be a very objective one. The result should be as it is, as we actually how we did the research or the study results. It should not be biased by how we think the result would or the outcome, but we just managed to write down all of the outcomes on the results. Of course, it is better to use some figures as well as tables because it's very easy to understand using figures and tables instead of only narrative or descriptive paragraph with the words or sentence. The next one will be a discussion. Why discussion should be different from the result part? Because the discussion would not only focus on the outcome of the objective outcome of our research program, but it's also some introduction of an idea how we actually take a look at the result of our research. So sometimes we are focused more on some particular part compared to other part of the results. So then we will have a very good conclusion after that. So then in the discussion, we are we can to put our idea, our comments, our opinion about how the result should be affected the policy, or maybe how the result will be needed for some policymakers. Yeah, something like that. So the discussion part is very unique to one to the another author, and usually the discussion part is also the one that heavily checked by the reviewer because this is really focused on the opinion of the author. Yeah. And then after discussion, we focus on the conclusion. In the conclusion, we are trying to wrap up our idea into 2 or until 5 sentences. So then the idea will be easier to understand for the readers. The next, this is something that not quite easy to understand in the beginning. The next step after the conclusion, actually, we will focus more on introduction. Yeah, this is so the introduction is something that really important for the journal. So after we conclude, we give an idea, we will think how we introduce this idea. So usually I make up 4 different parts for the introduction. The first paragraph will be focused more on the particular things that we would like to discuss on the manuscript. For example, if I want to take a look at the flood disaster, I would like to make a definition, maybe an epidemiology of the flood, maybe in ASEAN, maybe in other country, something like that in the first paragraph of the introduction. The second part of the paragraph in the introduction is focus more on the what's wrong about the um, uh, uh, what's wrong about the particular topics that we take a look at this article. For example, previously I told you about the flood disaster. Yeah. So the second part will say that what is wrong with the management of the flood or earthquake disaster, something like that. Yeah. So this part will focus more on the uh, uh, the difficulties that we face and the problems and the something that not achieved from the previous disaster. And then the third paragraph will focus on the what we already or what is the word is actually provide to solve the second paragraph problems. Yeah, that is when the innovation of the that already happened in the world would be stated there, and then the last paragraph will be how we still want to improve the innovation that already done to have more or better results for doing the or managing the disaster on the particular part, for example, for earthquake or flood or maybe tsunami or something like that. So that is the different topics in each paragraph that is really needed to be understand for the authors to be able to develop a very good introduction of the articles, because the good introduction will lead to increase curiosity of the readers, and then it will be very good for the development of the manuscript itself. Yeah. And then last but not least, we will develop the title of the journal. The title of the journal should be interesting, but still manage a scientific manner. So then because we are not popular magazines, but we are more focused on the academics, scientific papers, something like that. I think
Okay.
we can have an open discussion here, Miss Madel.
Yeah. Okay. Very interesting that you explain in detail chapter by chapter. And what do you think if we display the manuscript template? Is okay before
Okay,
we
yeah.
conduct discussion?
Okay.
So I mean, everyone can see the manuscript, the draft manuscript of our template of our journal.
Okay. Yeah.
Please, sir.
Okay. I think we already see here is the manuscript of the journal. Yeah. So we have the title, and then will be author name, affiliation, correspondence. Yeah. So in the abstract, we actually some of the wrap up of all the from the all the articles. Yeah. Please go down a little bit.
Go down.
Yeah. Scroll down, please. Scroll down.
Scroll down.
Yeah. Okay. So here for the our journal, the abstract should be a single paragraph, about 375 word maximum. Yeah. Something like that. And it will be focused on the introduction, objectives, methods, and result as well as conclusion. Okay. And then next, we will have the introduction. As I stated before, we can roughly divide into 4 different ideas. First, about the definition and the epidemiology of the particular things we will discuss in the articles. The second paragraph would focus on the problems of the particular things that we want to discuss. The third one, the innovation or the how we manage those problems that stated in the second paragraph. And the last paragraph or the fourth paragraph would focus more on the new idea we are introduced to further enhance the innovation or probably make a very new protocols or innovation, another new innovation to be able to manage the particular idea or disaster better. Yeah. The methodology here is actually the one that we need to write in the beginning of the manuscript development, because this methodology should not be changed during the manuscript development. Yeah. As we understand as well, usually before we perform the research, we actually already have the protocols, we already have the methodology, what kind of things that we would like to do, how we want to do it, how we want to achieve the outcome, and how we monitor the outcome, something like that. And that's all are included all in the methods. Okay, next, scroll down please. Then the results, yeah, as I mentioned before, the results should be concise, precise, and objectives. We do not need to put our opinion or idea on the results. So it's plain objective, plain data that we already have. Just put it something like that in the results. Yeah. Next slide. Next, scroll down, please. Scroll down. Yeah, scroll down again. Yeah, it's nice to have a figure and tables because it's easier to understand. Personally, when I want to read an article, published article, I focus more on first in the abstract, and then after that I jump to the figures or table immediately after that, because usually the figure and the tables are tell us more than the paragraph in the result, something like that. Yeah. Next, scroll down please. The discussion. These are the area where we can put our own opinion, idea, as well as the innovation probably in this discussion. Yeah. So here we really this part is where the one article would be really different from the another article, because usually every single author have their own idea and their own point of view that would enrich the discussion in the articles. Yeah, and the rest is limitation, conclusion. The limitation of the study is also important, yeah, because we need to understand what we is writing right now is actually an objective scientific paper. So then we need to be able, we need to understand that there is no single research that is really perfect. Why we need to put the limitation? So then we will understand in which area actually this article could be implemented. So, for example, if we say the limitation of the study, we only focus on the area that included in the around the or on the country with the so many islands in this country, yeah, something like that. So then means if we have a countries that also consist of many islands, we probably can implement the idea in this article. But if our country is actually only have only a few or probably only single islands or probably we are in the middle of the uh, land. I think we cannot really implement the idea, something like that. Yeah. I think, Miss Mandel, we have a question in the chat. Several, I think. Yeah. So first from Miss Juliana. Okay, the types of manuscript that AJDHM accept for publication. First is the original research, of course. The second is case report. And the third one is the review article. For the review article, we actually usually are invited a very special case that is really important for disaster health management area. So I think this is not for all the others, but at least the case reports as well as the original research article will be very interesting things that to do. Yeah, some in the sum of after the second issue, actually we will open the review articles for the other authors, not only the invited one. And but you can submit your review paper if you already did the systematic review properly or meta-analysis, and then we will have the room for you for the maybe third, fourth, or fourth issue, something like that. I hope it's answered the question. Okay.
It's very interesting. Yeah, Dr. It's very interesting the question from Juliana, because I mean in Asian and I mean globally we have medical practitioners or humanitarian practices that they have too strong interest to help effective people in the field, but they stuck when they have to report or make a study, research paper or a case study about the situation in the field into the journal article. So for this first publication or for next publication, does the Asian journal will accept I mean any kind of research type?
Oh yeah, yes. All the original research on the disaster health management, any kind of research, it could be core, case control maybe, and as well as observational study or descriptive study for some reason. For example, we want to know about the prevalence of the disease that happen after disaster, for example. There is I think it's very easy to have those kind of data, and then we will get the manuscript, and that will be very interesting and important study, even though it's only observational and descriptive. But this study will give a picture of us. Okay, after this kind of disaster, we will have this kind disease, and then for the next disaster, if it's happened, we can actually prepare something based on the previous observational or descriptive study about some prevalence of the disease. That is really interesting things to write, actually, Ms. Madel. And I believe not all the country, I believe all the country have those data in their own country. Yeah. So then they just need to take out the data and then write down as a manuscript, and that's it. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, thank you. And related to Juliana question, I mean, we can move to next question from Reni Kusuma. Excuse me, Dr. Datu, I would like to ask whether students are allowed to publish their paper on Asian Journal of Disaster Health Management.
Oh yeah, so actually this is things will be get more interested in this part. I believe the ASEAN Journal on Disaster Management and other prestigious journal did not take a look at the status of the author actually. Yeah, and luckily, I believe most of you are already understand about the review process of the journal. Our review process of the journal is actually did not mention any names of the author, so it will be blind from double side. So the reviewer will not know who is writing this journal, whether she or he is a student or not, or professor, a very highly appreciated professor or not. They will, and they don't know about that, and the author will not know the who is the reviewer as well. Yeah, because we need to be objective, really objective in this part. Yeah, because we are scientific journal, something like that. Miss Madelina, I hope it's
Okay.
answered the
Okay,
question.
thank you. And thank you for all question, but I try to prioritize the question. I mean, make it clear. So I think we move to Dr. Maria Karines Alexandria from UBD. Question. Thank you for your presentation. Can you discuss on the indexing plans of the journal? I think this is very
Okay.
important issue to understand our candidate authors.
Yeah,
Please,
yeah.
Dr. Datu.
This is a really good question, and don't be so worried because we would like to focus more on the how the journal will be indexed on the Scopus. We will use a publishing company from Universitas Gadjah Mada, and our publishing company in Universitas Gadjah Mada actually have already the special program to accelerate their journal to be indexed on the Scopus. And we are actually already on the track of those acceleration program from UTM to be able to index in the Scopus. But we need to understand that for index there is several requirements that needed to be able to index by Scopus. First, this should be a unique journal. The name of the ASEAN Journal on Disaster Health Management is already really unique because it focuses more on the disaster. It happened in the ASEAN, not in the other countries. And then next, after the uniqueness of the journal should be specific. Yeah, we already specify our journal focus on disaster health management only. We will not take a look at cancer. We will not take a look at some innovation in the surgery, for example, something. So it's very specific topics, disaster health management. The third requirement would be this journal should be the manuscript. Actually, the author of the manuscript should be from a different country, and you can already imagine if in each issue, every single ASEAN member state, we have 10 ASEAN member states, yeah, and also the other authors from out there, not from the ASEAN, for example, have one articles in each issue. We already have 10 different countries in the every issues, and that is already match the requirement of the Scopus, because the Scopus do not want to index a journal that only receive the manuscript from one institution or one country. Yeah. And this is the uniqueness that we already have in the ASEAN Journal on Disaster Health Management, because actually this is owned by the ASEAN country. So we will provide all the AMS member, all the author from the AMS, ASEAN member state, I mean, to be able to give their best manuscript to be published in the AJDHM.
Oh,
Something.
it's okay. So don't worry to submit to our
Oh
journal.
yeah, Miss Madelia.
Yeah.
So from the future direction,
Yeah.
we hope if we have two issues and every issues have 12 articles, means we have 24 articles in each year. We hope we will have the Scopus indexing in the third or the fourth year of the HEDHM. Yeah, something like that, Miss Madam.
Yeah, we got confirmation from Dr. Mariana as well. So we move to Ricky Priyanggara question. I think this is very important to clear this Ricky Priyanggara question about who are interested in publishing our articles on AJDHM, and is this AJDHM only used for selected people? And what is the submission guideline for AJDHM? Is it only through open journal system as well? So please explain again, Dr. Datu.
Okay, for the submission guideline will be available in the OJS. So it will be very easy. Actually, it something like when we are sign up for an account in the email, for example, Gmail or Yahoo Mail. So we sign up for the account in the OJS. After we have the account in the OJS, and then there will be a lot of guidelines here and there according to what you need. For example, the submission guideline, the templates there. So it will all provide on the OJS, and the OJS actually is really literally open for all the authors from all the countries. Miss Madel, I forgot the second question. Could you repeat the second question?
Is who will be authors for our journal? Is it selected people or everyone can submit?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, because to manage our future direction to be indexed by Scopus, in the first and the second issue, fortunately, we are already secure 22 articles. So the first and the second issue is actually focused more on the invited speakers. But don't worry, because we will have the third issue and so on, and you can actually for those issue we can really open for all of the authors from all of country, especially from ASEAN. But we also have a very good relation with our colleague in Japan, and some of our colleague in Japan actually already also show their interest to publish in our manuscript, publish in our journal. So then it's really open to anyone. Yeah. But I hope you all understand right now, because we have really big goals to be indexed by Scopus. Then that's why in the first second issue, the first and the second issue, we already have the authors for the articles, something like that. And then I believe there is a third question, and I still forget.
The same question. And okay, maybe Mr. Ricky, you can open a microphone, turn on if you want for the confirmation. Okay, Dr. Datu, if everyone during the first and second issue they want to submit is does Asian Journal will submit, will accept as well and enter the article to the review process
Oh,
or
yeah.
edit process?
Okay, here are the things, Miss Madalena. Of course, we want to have really good articles in every issue that we publish in ASEAN Journal of Disaster Management. So, while we already have selected author for the first and second issue, actually, we still don't know whether or not those authors that invited for the first and second issue will accomplish full manuscript in time or according to the timeline of the journal. So when this invited author did not meet the timeline of the journal, we actually open the possibility to accept the author outside the one that already invited to be able to publish their manuscript in the first or maybe second issue of the journal, as long as their articles is actually good articles as well as meet the templates of our submission guideline from our journal, something like that.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tuti, for the explanation. And I have collected same question, a similar question from Indira Ajeng Rahastri and Suhaida Muhammad Sidek, that it's technically discussed about how to write the abstract, methodology and timeline for the review manuscript. So I think for the first, can you answer the question from Ajeng Rahastri? Dear Dr. Datu, is there any estimate time for the manuscript review until it published, especially for first publication?
Okay, for the first issue, we require all the manuscript to be submitted by the end of the June or probably in the early of July, and then we will have the review process during July until September, and then in the end of the September we would because this is an ASEAN Journal of Disaster Health Management and owned by the ASEAN. The editorial board member is actually from ASEAN countries, and also there is one from or two invited editor from our colleague in Japan. We need to put all the reviewed manuscript to the editorial board member for the first issue, because we need to make sure the direction. Sorry.
No, just
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in the end of September, we will have all those article presented to the editorial board member, and then we will publish our first issue in the 1st January of 2025. That is the estimation. So in every year we will have, right now we will have 2 issues. So hopefully, usually the reviewing process will have 1 until 2 months, and then if there is a revision needed for the article, we will give at least 8 weeks to the author to complete the revised manuscript, and then after that another 2 months for review and decision. So then practically with the minor revision, usually one article would publish during 6 months at least, something like that. It could be faster actually if the revision would be faster, and then the reviewer process also faster. We probably only have we will have only 3 months to publish, to be accepted in the journal. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Datu, for your explanation. And move to Indira. My name is Indira from Makassar. I'd like to know how to produce a good title for a journal manuscript. Is there any limitation of word counts or any forbidden words, and should be put words? Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, some forbidden words are there actually. So instead of and we already have on our TOR, yeah, Miss Madalena, and we these specific words actually would be provided in our submission guideline as well. So wait a second, let me check the TOR. Okay, I think I lost track about the document. Okay, at least I can explain to you. This article, this will be available only in the submission guideline, so don't worry. You can just read the submission guideline because it is what we will have experience in almost all the prestigious journal we already have. For example, the one from Springer, the one for LWW. I think all are in the submission guideline, and definitely we will put those on the submission guideline.
Yeah. Okay.
And in terms of the interesting title, I think we need to really take a look at many articles titles to be able to understand. Okay, this one is really good. The one that I need to highlight it here is it needs to be interesting as well as scientific. Yeah, we cannot put some how to say the words that we usually see in very popular magazines in this academic or scientific journal. Yeah.
Yeah. And next meeting, I mean next week, we will discuss deeply about how to write a good introduction, including the article journal. So make sure that Ibu Indira, you should be attend again for the next meeting. Okay. Is there any confirmation from Ibu Indira? You can turn on your microphone. If not, we move to Suhaida Mohsidek. It's similar to Ibu Indira. Thank you, Dr. Datu. Can you expand further and how to write methodology and result in case study? Actually, we will discuss deeply for next series meeting, but you can explain again to answer Suhaida Mohsidek question.
Okay, for the case reports or case study, I think it's really interesting to understand that this one is actually a little bit different from the original research that based on original article that based on research. So in the methodology of the case study, we will focus on about the case report itself. So we will explain about, for example, if it's a patient, then we will focus more on the patient, how old is he, what kind of complaints that they have. In terms of disaster health management, for example, if you want to focus more on the case study that happened during the disaster, you can focus more on the particular case. For example, if you focus on the case of the, let's say, diarrhea after the disaster, you will focus on the how the diarrhea is described, when it happens, how they actually they started to have the diarrhea, in which day they will resolve, what kind of medication they have to be able to manage the diarrhea, and then is there any other complication that related closely to the diarrhea, something like that. That is the methodology part of the case study, and the result is actually all the could be become one part to the methodology, because the result is the outcome of our examination during the particular case. Yeah. So we will have the another templates for the case study that will be differ from those original articles. Maybe something like that, Miss Madeline.
Yeah. Okay. Last question, maybe. But we open for another question if you want to turn on your microphone. From Gusti, highly appreciate for your impressive presentation, Dr. Datu. Please allow me to ask, does the journal engage with the wider community of disaster health management professional and stakeholder, or just for students?
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Madel. So yeah, as I already previously said that we are really open for all the others. By means all others is actually, it could be a government employee, it could be a policymaker, it could be a student, it could be academics in the universities, it could be health professional in the hospital, or maybe in the disaster team, something like that. So it's really open for all those, because the idea to have this journal, actually we want to learn more from those untold story in each country about how they are managed the disaster, or at least how the problem could be arise from one kind of disasters. So then after that, we can really understand, and we can make a policy based on the published article to be able to manage the next possible disaster that will be happen in the future, something like that.
Okay, is there any question from the participants? Okay, I would like to appreciate the comment from the Selby Blanco that this is a fresh breath of air for us who are into disaster health management. Great news idea, indeed. Yeah, thank you. That's why this is our main purpose to facilitate the ASEAN Journal for of Disaster Health Management, and we hope everyone can contribute to develop and reach the indexing of Scopus for Asian Journal. So we invite all of you and your college, please publish this Asian Journal to your college, especially in your country, in Asian region, or your college globally. So I think this is there any question? Oh, yes, from Pak Putra, Mr. Putra Susila. Dear Dr. Datu, could you please kindly send your PPT for today's agenda? Thank you. Yeah, sure. The production unit of Asian Journal will inform the PPT and the material in this meeting by email because from your registered email. So don't worry. Okay, I think it is completely agree with your explanation and as well question and comment. So, well, we have to finish here, but our next meeting will be scheduled for a deeply discussion about how to write introduction and method in research paper. We will meet again at 27th of May 2024 in the afternoon in the same time. So please publish and socialize our event to your college, because we will conduct 5 webinar series. For the second meeting next week, we will discuss how to write the introduction and method in a research paper. We will discuss about how to write introduction, research, how to design a research methodology and research, and how to find references appropriately. And for third session, we will discuss how to write the result and discussion, including interpreting the research finding or results and formulating a discussion and drawing a research conclusion. And for fourth meeting, we will discuss how to write limitation, conclusion, and the abstract. How to structuring the manuscript effectively, enhancing writing style and clarity, citation, and references, refining through revision and editing process. And the last session in the fifth meeting, we will conduct in 21st June. I and Dr. Daktu will meet you again, and Dr. Daktu will explain again about the other thing, such kind conflict of interest, acknowledgement, ethical approval, references, English proofreading, and the journal submission process. So we will explain in detail, step by step, how to submit your manuscript to ASEAN Journal of Disaster Health Management. So again, really to thank everyone for a productive seminar. So this is last session. Thank you, Dr. Datu, for your detailed explanation. Thank you for UGM team that facilitated this seminar. And thank you for the Asian Institute for Disaster Health Management, also our college from Asian, and for you all participant, productive participant today. Thank you. Bye. Have a nice weekend.
Bye.